So I've been doing a lot of reviews this month, and so far folks seem to really enjoy them. But this video is going to be a little bit different for a couple reasons. For starters, it's on Christmas Day, so that makes it special, I guess. But I'd kind of like to wrap the year up with a fun little list of all of the games that I've been playing this year. Now this channel isn't necessarily a gaming channel, but I certainly have a lot of gaming footage in the videos I do, whether they're benchmarks or just filler footage, whatever. I also have another channel called Egee Plays, and that's where I do all of my streaming. A lot of the footage you'll see in this video is from that channel. But yeah, before I start, I'm going to try to keep this list short, and the games I've picked are in no particular order. Consider this a list of micro reviews. So I'll start right off with Battlefield 4. I actually started playing Battlefield 4 this year after somebody left a comment saying that they've been playing Battlefield 4 with dxvk for some time now. So I thought, why don't I give that a try? And by God, it worked. Now I was a huge fan of Battlefield 3, and by the time Battlefield 4 came around, I had hopped over to Linux, so I wasn't really able to play it. I'd say that in general, Battlefield 4 is a good game if you like this sort of game, but its best days are definitely behind it. It seems like on the PC side, the community is largely dead, to be honest. I mean, it's there, but it's nowhere as big as Battlefield 1 or of course Battlefield 5 is. And honestly, I would play it more, but it's really hard to find a good server. Like a lot of servers and the server browsers show a bunch of people playing, but when you join, there's no one on. And I've read about this, and apparently that server owner is spoofing the numbers or something, but it's really annoying and it takes a long time to join a game. So I've basically stopped playing because I got sick of looking for good servers to join. The performance on Linux is actually pretty good. There's some micro stuttering here and there, but if you had better hardware, it would probably run just fine. Next up, we've got Skyrim. Now everybody knows Skyrim. Skyrim has run on Linux through Wine for a pretty long time, but it's never been as seamless as it is now with SteamPlay, and that's when I started playing it. I even got mods to work, and I talk about that in another video. Skyrim is fine. I've beat it probably 2 or 3 times in the past. I thought that it would be fun to kind of run through it again. And I'll tell you what, my nostalgia really hazed over the fact that it's not really a great game. It's got a crappy story, it's really frickin' buggy, and quite honestly, it's not worth playing unless you load it with mods, which make it even more buggy. I went ahead and beat it just so I could say I did it on Linux, but I don't know, really wasn't that good. Following Skyrim up is Elder Scrolls Online. Now I had pretty high hopes for this game, and I guess it's fine, but it's certainly no Skyrim. And it's not trying to be Skyrim. I was kind of expecting more, but it's just an MMO that is in the world of Elder Scrolls, and it is just an MMO. And I mean, it's fine. It's unique in a lot of ways, but I really want to play it, but I have no, desire to play it. There's nothing about it that pulls me back in like other MMOs have, which is a shame because it's kind of a cool game, but I just don't really want to play it anymore. Next up is Hitman, and we're talking about Hitman 2016, not the most recent one that came out. Funnily enough, this is the first native Linux game on the list, and I played the hell out of this last year, and I continue to play it this year. I beat the game at some point this year, but they have these elusive contracts that come up every month or something like that, which provide kind of reoccurring content, but at this point I've done pretty much everything there is to do in the game, and I guess I'm kind of done with it. But it's a good game nonetheless. And next on the list is Mad Max. Mad Max was super fun at first. I couldn't stop playing it. And then it just wasn't fun anymore. Which is a bummer because it's a really good game. It runs super well. It's a native Linux game. It's got a cool story and everything, but there's just no depth to the game. Like once you play for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 hours, you've done pretty much everything there is to do in the game. Which is weird because I believe the original developers did Just Cause, which is, so much depth in one game, and then you have Mad Max, and you have cars, and, hand-to-hand combat, which is really cool, but after you do it about a dozen times, okay, it's still kind of cool, but I'd like to do other stuff, and my only other option is driving. I'm about halfway through the game and I haven't beat it, and I don't really have a desire to. So maybe I'll beat it next year, I don't know, but I don't plan on playing it again anytime soon. And the next one is Rainbow Six Vegas 2. So if you follow me on my Egee Plays channel, I just beat this game. It's an older game, but it's still pretty okay. I think it's aged well enough. If you're into these sort of old school cover shooters, it's pretty fun. I've had it in my library for a long time. I've almost beat it, I don't know, a half dozen times, and I just wanted to go ahead and do it. It's a Windows game, but it runs flawlessly with SteamPlay with no extra setup, no nothing. And it was fun. I'm glad to have beat it, but I probably won't play it again. And next up, we've got Shadow Warrior. It took me a long time to beat this game because I kept losing interest. It was really fun at first. Like the first few levels, it was just like non-stop hack and slash, and it was just crazy. But it was just more of the same and more of the same, and it just got boring. I eventually did beat the game, but if you watch the stream over on the Egee Plays channel, I'm just annoyed at the end boss. Like, I was ready for it to be done. It's a good game. I recommend trying it out if you like crazy FPSs, but in my opinion, the story just kind of dragged on. And then we've got Company of Heroes 2. Now, I've talked about this in Discord, and I've tweeted about it. I love and hate this game. I really liked Company of Heroes 2. I like RTSs, kind of. But Company of Heroes adds a tactic layer on top of the traditional RTS formula, and I really like it. And that's what I loved about Company Heroes 1. Company Heroes 2 is much more fast-paced, like they're trying to make it be more of like a tournament sort of thing, and I don't think it works very well. Like, there's been times where I have flamethrower units run into a group of soldiers with rifles, and the riflemen just turn and shoot my flamethrowers, and they're just dead. Like, it's just weird balancing. And it's even worse with armor. Like, the game's got some problems, but I still really like it. I'm trying to beat it, and hopefully I will, but I love to hate that game. And next is a game called Delver. Hopefully you've heard of it. The developer just open sourced the engine, I believe, though the art assets are still closed or not released or whatever, which is fine. It's a really good game, very classic, and I don't know, you just kind of have to play it. If you see screenshots and footage and you say, boy, that's kind of a cool game, just go ahead and get it and see what you think of it. It's definitely not for everybody, but it's a fun game and it's really easy to get into. The difficulty ramps up the further into the dungeon you go, and since it is a roguelike, when you die, you go back to the start, but still, it's a really fun game. And last on the list, I want to talk about 7 Days to Die. Now, I've been playing 7 Days to Die on Linux since I started this channel. In fact, the first video I ever made that went above 20,000 views was a 7 Days to Die video. They just released Alpha 17, which has been in development for like years, and it is so friggin' good. It's still unstable. Like, the game, you can play it and it's fine, but each update changes stuff and it usually breaks backwards compatibility. So it's kind of hard to get going and start a playthrough only to have an update come through and break all your stats or skills or weapons or something. But I want to call out this game because it is so friggin' fun. It has a huge amount of depth, and it's unfortunate that it's so unstable right now. Like, I still recommend trying this game out if you're into this sort of thing. It's less about zombies and more about trying to survive. Like, they advertise it as a tower defense game, and in a lot of ways it is like that. But there's also a lot of survival horror and going into a town to scavenge and hope that you don't get attacked from behind by a zombie or something. It's so fun. And that's about all the games I want to talk about in this video, and hey, we kept 10 games under 10 minutes. That's cool. If you like me doing game reviews, let me know in the comments below. I actually really like doing them. And I've got a lot of other content I do in this channel, but I think there's room for game reviews in there somewhere. If you like this video, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, check out the description. You can get set up with Linode, get $20 credit for setting up your account, help the channel. And of course, I've got Patreon. You can go there, or you can just subscribe and watch the videos. That works too. I appreciate everybody's support, and thanks for watching.